We all know how it is very popular right now, whereby almost everybody has a hair wig. Yes, because if you even know that it's not everybody that is going to sit in a hairdresser's house for 2 hours, 3 hours just to make their hair. But the same way you have all of this hair, there are some certain things you should put in place in order to maintain it. There are some certain ones that need to be straightened. They need straightener for them to always look in shape. And when you're straightening, there are some things you should do and some things you should never do. So that is why I'll be talking about everything you need to know about the do's and don'ts of hair straightening. So welcome to Wisdom Yard Online TV, and this is Lifestyle Show with Ayomi Kunyo. Listen to Shigumami of Lagos. If you have to subscribe to our channel, this is that right now. Subscribe, like, and follow every of our social media platform, because that is how you can only be a part of the family. As earlier said, there are do's and don'ts of hair straightening. I'll be starting with the do's. You should, whenever you want to straighten your hair, make sure that you are using a right tool. Your straightener should be the best. When you're choosing your straightener, you should make sure that it is a type that you can control. It has a regulator whereby the heat level can be controlled when you want it to be high, when you want it to be low, or at medium level. This is because some of the hair will make use of, some don't need a lot of heat. They just need a medium level of heat. So if you are applying too much heat, it can at the end of the day spoil the hair, and you will now have to say that this hair is not even lasting long as earlier said by the vendor. So sometimes it's not the fault of the vendor, but it's your fault while you are straightening your hair. So make sure you are making use of the right tool. That is the number one do. And the next one is that you should make sure you're making use of protection spray. This is an example of protection spray. There are different types of protection spray for your hair. Just as it sounds, protection spray, just to protect your hair. So make sure that you're spraying this protection hair spray beforehand. You spray that before you start straightening on a level of heat based on your hair. The level of heat should be regularized. Another thing is that you should do a little at a time. Looking at this right now, this is the whole of the hair. But when you want to straighten, you should make sure you are straightening bit by bit. I know it's sometimes very tiring and you don't want to do that. You just want to back maybe like a line and straighten at once, but then calm down. You should pick bit by bit so that you'll be able to do the necessary detangling. You'll be able to you'll be able to straightening the whole of the hair and not just some section of the hair. And you should always make sure that you are combing as you go. Combing, like you should make a comb your friend. When you are straightening your hair, make sure you're combing it out, because there are some tanglement and there are some parts of the hair that tangles, and even if you straighten, they don't even detangle. It tends to give it a more complex tangling. So it is better that you straighten and you comb out. You straighten and comb out. That helps you to detangle all kind of entanglement that might have occurred. Now let's move to the don't. Things you should never do when you're straightening your hair. The first is that do not straighten a wet hair. When the hair is wet, even if it is not an artificial hair, your natural hair, when the hair is wet, you'll notice that even if you just pull a string, or when you're combing it, your hair tends to go with it. Okay, so you shouldn't try and straighten your hair, your artificial hair, while it is still wet. Help it to dry up. When it is dried up, finally, that is when you should start straightening, just to protect your hair. Another thing is that you should not use a broken straightener. Using a broken straightener can actually affect you as a straightener, you that you are straightening the hair, and it can also affect the hair. If the straightener is broken, then there's no regulator, there's no proper heat maintenance. You might not even be able to get the desired result at the end of the day. And finally, do not overdo. The same way we're telling you to straighten your hair and maintain your hair, you should never overdo. It's not that you should straighten every day. There are some certain times you just need to keep your hair properly. If you're keeping it properly after you straighten and use, you don't need to straighten every day. So don't overdo. Overdoing that might actually make the whole of the strand weak, and they tend to lose as time goes on. So it is better to do it the right way in order to have the desired result. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is still Lifestyle Show with Ayomi Kunyo, Lisa Shigumami of Lagos, and this is Wisdom Yard Online TV. Please subscribe to our channel, subscribe, like, follow every of our social media platforms as it is showing on the screen. And until next time, lots of love, joy, and happiness.